Hey, don't. Hey, don't. Okay, y'all. I had to get that out of my system. Hey, welcome everybody. Welcome to Perspective on this beautiful Thursday evening. I am Eric Butler, aka the Intellect, aka Colored in Eight, because I'm the biggest diamond ever found on land. I'm 3,000 plus carats, y'all. AKA the Atlantic, because I'm cold, deep, and choppy, and it ain't nothing nobody can do about it. I usually go through this litany of things that I am: a father, grandfather, been in talent acquisitions. You're going to have to go look at some of the other videos where I go through that in more detail because we're going to get cracking a little bit. But before that, I will say this: welcome to Perspective. And the premise of our platform is found right there in the name: Perspective. This is a safe place, a safe tree, if you will, a place to come and discuss different opinions, different points of views, different lived experiences, and whatever else that you have to bring to the table in a safe environment. We do also understand that those different perspectives, opinions, uh, points of views can differ, right? They may not align, but that doesn't mean that the other person is right or the other person is wrong or you're right or you're wrong. It just simply means that they're different. And whenever we can have a intellectual conversation about our differences, it actually brings us together. You can often discover that you may be taking different paths, but you're headed to the same destination. And when we do that, that brings us closer together, that makes a better, stronger community. And that is what we aim to do here on Perspective. So feel free to comment, share your opinions. There will be no reprisals. If anybody in the chat get, crunk, hey, we'll just, ignore them or remove them, and we'll continue on so we can have intelligent conversation, and we'll go at that. But with that being said, I've introduced myself. I've shared a few things, but I'm going to pass the mic over to my unmatched, can't be duplicated, often imitated co-host, and I'll allow them to introduce themselves.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Latoya, aka Chef Jeff's wife, aka them kids' mama. I am a licensed professional counselor. Let's see, I'm an author, I'm a podcast hoster. Hey, look at me.
Yay,
And
yay.
today is my birthday.
I was gonna see if you was gonna say something. I said I have to blow up at the end. Happy birthday, Doc. Happy birthday. Hey,
Yay!
the
Thank you.
AKA Doc today, AKA Red. Listen, I'm just gonna say, man, my co-host is dynamic. She quickly became one of my favorite people. Somebody I trust, respect a whole lot, and you'll gain a lot. I love it because she's very logical and she's intellectual as well. Very clinical in her assessments of things, but so down to earth. She's gonna keep it 101 actually, and so I really appreciate it, and proud to be her co-host. So we're gonna do some videos. Some videos were shared with us from our community, and we're going to take a look at maybe one or two,
Hold
maybe
on, let's do the
one, but
comments.
maybe.
Let's do the comments.
Okay, let's do that. Of course. All right, Mr. Ben Sutter the third, already topping it off. He says you can support BS3 Network by sending stars. Stars help us earn money to continue building the network. And thank you. And if you can't notice, Mr. Ben Sutter the third puts the BS3 into the BS3 network. Appreciate our fearless leader there. Mr. Jay Gilliard, when she says Chef Jeff's wife, that J stands for Jeff in that name right there. This dope cooking show on Tuesdays at 5:30 p.m. Go to YouTube and look up this dope cooking show. I promise you won't be disappointed. He says, "Welcome to the chat, folks." All right. He say, "Happy birthday, Doc." Yeah, yeah,
And I
happy
thank you.
birthday.
And I thank
So looking every bit of 26, and so
you. You better know
happy
it.
26th birthday to you.
And I thank you.
And she is not going to be like, and yes, and that's it. I guess that's what it's going to be. So, and then also before we get started, hey, viewers, don't be afraid. And we really would like for you to comment. give responses, say something, ask a question, put three dots, put where you're from, just say hey. So don't be afraid to get into the comment section. And the thing I like to share with you, your perspective, your lived experiences, the things and information that you bring to the table. Many times it can unlock something for someone else. It can inform others. It can enlighten others. You're much more helpful than you probably realize, and you'll think that your experience or what you've learned or what you've gained over time in your span of living is not that pertinent. I guarantee you it is. So please do not be afraid to get active in the chat section. With your likes, dislikes, the questions, things like that. We love to get into it. That's one of my monikers. Let's get into it. So, but in a positive way. So, with that being
Let me do my
said,
disclaimer.
yeah, I was going to say, Doc, what do you think?
So here's our disclaimer, guys. I am a therapist, not your therapist, unless we have paperwork and a payment plan in place. Also, Eric and I will be speaking from our lived experience, our education. We are not necessarily talking about things that happen, things that are currently happening in our personal lives, unless we say, currently, this is happening to me. Also, no one called us before we got here to tell us your business. So we're not necessarily talking about you either. But, if you can't say, amen, say ouch. Ain't that what the people be saying? Also, we know that your sister's cousin, homegirl, had the same situation and it worked out great for her, and we love her and we love that for her. We are not talking about her. We are speaking from a general perspective.
A general perspective, absolutely. Hey,
Hey,
Facebook
Facebook
user.
user.
We don't if you don't give StreamYard, yeah, if you don't give StreamYard permission, I think it's www.streamyard.com/Facebook. You can give it permission just to show your name. Promise it won't be collecting all your data and everything, and nothing to be afraid of. So we encourage that. If not, just type your name in the chat so we can address you appropriately and definitely give you kudos for the insights you may be sharing with us. We appreciate it. Thank you, and hey, back to you. Well, I'll try to look and see if I can find you, but we'll get started, and we're going to jump into the video. So take notes. Think about your thoughts, collect your thoughts. Definitely put them in the chat. What did you think? If you gain something from it, great. If you have a countering perspective on it, definitely share that, and we can definitely cover that. And Doc and I kind of give our review when we come back. So here we go.
I was so shocked to learn in the research that the opposite of belonging is fitting in. Because fitting in is assessing a group of people and thinking, who do I need to be? What do I need to say? What do I need to wear? How do I need to act? And changing who you are. And true belonging never asks us to change who we are. It demands that we be who we are. Because if we fit in because how we've changed ourselves, that's not belonging. That's not belonging, because you betrayed yourself for other people, and that's not sustainable.
We'll switch it over so people don't get too confused. Oh, okay. I think we were doing it at the same time, Doc. There we go.
I'm not doing
it. So, Doc, what are your initial thoughts on? First of all, do you know who that is?
I feel like that's Brene Brown, but I'm not 1,000% sure.
Brown.
Yeah, I'm like 98% sure that's her. So Brene Brown is a renowned LCSW licensed clinical social worker. She's really big into like research. She has written a few books. She's really big on showing up authentically and like daring to be great and being vulnerable and being brave. And I'm pretty sure that that's her.
Okay. That sounds in line with the message. Right. And it's ironic you said that. I mean, I think the first thing that popped to mind, I think was obvious, is the authenticity.
Right.
And I'm in talent acquisition. So, being in corporate America and being in that environment, being able to be your true self is, I think, something you have to come to terms and grips with, because even though you may say you're coming to work, and this could be in any other walk. I definitely want to hear from those. Do they feel? So let me pose the question: do you feel like you get to be your authentic self in every environment that you go into? And then also, is it a good or bad thing that you can't do that? But
Oh, I have
my
thoughts.
take on that is, okay, well, go ahead, Doc, hit it up.
No. Go ahead. I was just prefacing. Go ahead. You got it.
No, you good. No, come on now.
Okay.
It's your birthday. It's your birthday.
Okay. So here are my thoughts.
Right.
I think that when people say they are their full selves at work, I think that that's only a small percentage of people. You not your full self at work. You can't be. I don't recommend that. I recommend a level of authenticity that you can sustain. But when we go work for other people, their bottom line is their bottom line. They don't care about what happened at your house. They don't necessarily care that you had a flat tire. They don't really care what's going on in your marriage. Their bottom line is their bottom line. Your job is your job. What they care about is, did you check them boxes? Now, companies are going to say, we have a family-like culture, work-life balance. We love you. They're lying. They're lying. They love you as long as you are doing well. And listen, I'm not mad at them. You a business, and a business has a bottom dollar. So I don't recommend, if yourself is highly opposite of the company culture that you find yourself in, I do not recommend bringing your whole full self. For what? They're not going to appreciate you. You're going to walk away feeling sad. You're going to be like, oh my gosh, I don't belong here. Coming from a situation last summer where I did not belong there, it was not fun. So
She said, coming from where I did not belong there.
Do not show up on them people's job acting how you act at the cookout with your homegirl. Don't do that. That's crazy. Do not do that. Now, when we talk about like relationships and stuff like that, absolutely be your 100 authentic self, because you are only going to be able to keep your mask on for so long. Yes. You are only going to be able to keep your mask on for so long. Eventually, it's going to come off. You're going to want to breathe. And then the person is like,
Who is it? Who you? Who this, Hoppo?
Yeah, Hoppo, who this woman? You know what I'm saying? And so in relationships, yes, bring your whole full self. And when it comes to a point to where you are shifting and changing and chipping away at pieces of yourself to fit in, like the video said, remember, you don't belong there, because that's not belonging. Those are my thoughts.
Yeah, I tend to agree with that. And I wouldn't want that to get confused by anyone who hears this or views this on the aspect of, one, when you're really close to people, because you talked about being in a relationship and being your true self. I really think you need to put your honest foot forward versus your best foot forward. So individuals can go ahead and get irked to understand if, something that's unbearable is something that you possess that comes intrinsically or naturally. Not saying that compromise can't occur. I'm not saying people are going to evolve over time, and I think that's really where the beauty in relationships come into play. And this can also work in, I think, your professional relationships as well. When you're with certain organizations a long enough time, where you may come through for them or you may make a mistake, then you get to kind of see their nature, how they're going to really react. Is it we only good when you're doing things perfectly? Because no one's 100% perfect. No one has it all together. No one knows all the answers, no matter whatever their title is and whatever their compensation range where it may fall. They are human and they're fallible, right? And so the beauty of that is understanding that there will be, you need to be in your mind, be someone who allows individuals to be themselves. And that's not going to come easy, because most folks like, nah, I don't want you to see that part of me. Nah, I don't want you to judge me on that, because we judge ourselves harsher about our flaws or perceived flaws than other people may do. But the interesting thing about belonging and just fitting in, Doc, from a clinical aspect, do you find it to be detrimental, and in what ways do you find it to be detrimental for individuals to fit in versus belong?
So when you think about fit in, think about what you're actually saying. You're saying that you are going to take who you are as a circle and fit you into a square. Parts of you are going to have to go away. Parts of you are going to have to be removed so that you fit in. So, yes, it is detrimental because in your attempt to fit in, you're not necessarily in control of what parts of you go away, because you're coming into this situation and you like, and oh, they don't like women that do this, so now I don't do this. You didn't choose to not do this. You didn't say I'm gonna hide this from them, or I'm gonna like, shave a little bit off here and do a little bit here. You didn't even make that choice for yourself. You made the choice based on what they showed you. So yes, it is detrimental because the pieces of you that you're hiding could be the pieces that make you you. So it's always detrimental to not be your full self. And then part of that teeter totters on like, are you lying? Are you giving them a version of you that they accept and love, and then you're gonna hit them with the real version, and now you mad because they've rejected you? You know what I'm saying? So I
Yeah.
think it's detrimental to you. I think it's detrimental to them. But I want to go back to something you said. You said that people judge themselves very harshly, and that's why they judge other people. I think that if you practice self-compassion and start being nice to yourself and allowing yourself to be human and allowing yourself to have flaws, you can allow others to have flaws. Because you had mentioned like it's difficult to watch other people just be themselves. It is, only because you think that they should conform because you've been conforming.
Man, that you just brought up a word. I cringe at conformity. I think it's because I'm an advocate of people thinking for themselves, to challenge everything that you know. Um, I just don't like sheep. Sheep just follow without asking the most important question that you can ask in the history of anything at all times, which is why. You just ask why. And I think that's pertinent. Even when we say, well, I've studied and read and I have a degree and I have a certificate and I am this and that, I'll be like, okay, now who wrote that you studied and gained all that information about first? Let's find out about them. What was their motivations? What was their clues? And were they trying to be, are they demanding that you be your authentic self in your discovery of what they're sharing? Or they trying to make you conform to fit in to their perspective, their insight, their agenda, so to speak. All right. So we a Facebook user says, and I'm trying to make it so I can read it, says, what's good, y'all? It's CJ. Hey CJ, what's going
Hey,
on?
CJ,
Ah man, appreciate you being in the
how
building.
you doing?
Appreciate it. Yeah,
I
yeah,
also
yeah.
think it's fear. I think we start to try to fit in out of fear that we won't belong, but you're never going to belong if you start to fit in.
That's very true.
Yeah,
That's
like we
very true.
scared. We are scared that all of me is not going to be accepted or appreciated in this space. And so I'm going to shape myself to look a little bit more like them so that I can belong here, but you're not really belonging. You just fit me.
I think it'll be even more dangerous is if if you fake it long enough, I think you'll kind of do away with who you truly are and then actually start functioning and operating like the area, like the space and the place that you're trying to fit in, who you're trying to fit in with, where you're trying to fit in, and you'll
Man.
get lost and I think you do some real damage to yourself. Facebook user, and I think that might be CJ still,
It's
said,
not.
be say again.
It's not.
Oh, it's not. They says Facebook user says be genuine. Oh, okay, I see who it is. I had to keep reading. Be genuine. I enjoy the differences in people and what they have to offer. Have to be me, 100%. This is Vanjie. Hey, Vanjie.
Hey, thank you for commenting. I appreciate this. I also love
Vanjie.
that the commenter said, I enjoy the differences in people and what they have to offer, because a lot of people don't enjoy that. A lot of people prefer people who are just like them, because
To
then it
conform.
doesn't challenge you to do anything different. You don't have to open up your mind to anything else. You don't have to shift your perspective
Yeah.
to do anything different, because everybody is just like you. So I appreciate your comment so much. I like differences in people too, because I'm nosy and I like to ask questions. So
Oh yeah, and I mean, and it's been proven that diversity, and I'm not just talking about in skin color, but diversity in thoughts, idea, creativity, analytical prowess, all of that definitely contributes to a well-rounded team. If you think about any team, nothing of a great significance is ever done alone or achieved alone.
mm-hmm.
And that's not my quote. Dr. Frazier, George C. Frazier, if I'm not mistaken. That's his quote. And so you need that diversity. And I think any smart leader understands that diversity is a plus, especially those families that have multiple children with multiple personalities. Okay, we can come together. One child is probably a little bit more responsible. One can probably help with certain tasks and things. You can have certain conversations with them, and you see that it's a benefit to be that way, rather than everyone thinking the same, walking in lockstep. And we have movies. Divergent, I think, is a movie that's kind of predicated around that. Just the big push toward conformity and everybody doing the thing in the name of what's best, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Plays by CJ. Uh, that's CJ. Oh man, what's
Yeah.
going on with
Hey.
someone with my? I'm sorry, y'all. He says, "What's good, y'all?" He said, "I'm gonna switch to my YouTube account." Okay, all right, that's what's up. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. So we talked about authenticity a little bit, which is, belonging, because I believe belonging is about like feeling accepted and valued for who you are, for who you truly are. And I
Right.
hate saying it because it's so cliche, but flaws and all. You know what I mean? But while fitting in, just involves conforming to whatever is around you. And I mean, and you really end up compromising your morals, your values, your beliefs,
Right.
even your
Right.
principles, many times to try to fit into society. Um, and definitely at the expense of your true self is what we did. So what about like inclusivity, being included? Because think about it, Doc, and this, I'll let you elaborate. But I think human beings are communal intrinsically.
Definitely.
Like we
Mm-hmm.
desire, I wouldn't say desire, we need to be included. We need to be in community. That's why people say, I'm single and I'm great. No, you're not. I tell them to their
Yes, they
face. No, I don't care if you're rich. You didn't know you're not. You definitely it's
they are.
better with some. No, they're not.
Hold on.
This
Hold on. No, 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 no,
it's
no, no.
it's
Hold
no,
on.
it's better with somebody. Um, mm, mm. It's
I
better with somebody.
disagree.
Okay, come on
I
with it, Doc.
disagree.
Okay, go
I
ahead,
think
Doc.
that
And I'm gonna blow
I
you
think
up.
that
I'm gonna
people
blow
can
you
be.
up after your comments, but go ahead.
It's cool. I think that yes, I agree. We are designed to be communal. We are designed to be in community. Can single people still be okay? Yes, because just
No.
because I'm single from a romantic place doesn't mean I'm single. Doesn't mean I'm not surrounded by community. Doesn't mean I'm not fulfilled in different areas. Sure, at night may they be a little lonely. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe they got a dog. I don't know what they got going on, but I know people who are happier single because they're not settling for less than what they desire. So I know some wonderful single people who are living their life like it is really, really golden. And it's cool because they still have that community. They just don't have a romantic partner.
There's a lot of logic in there, and it's hard for me to.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
Try
hard
to
for
try to blow it up. Try to blow it up on my birthday.
Yeah, because my argument didn't have all the points because you just said no, you can be single but still have community, which
Exactly.
is my point from the beginning. And there you have it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Vanjie says, I'm happy single. Laughing out loud. See, you know what I'm focusing on that comment? The laughing out loud. You know how when people say something, they don't really mean it, they gonna laugh with it. No.
Meant it. Meant it.
Yeah, she meant it. She said it, she meant it. Facebook users put their hands in the air. What ingredients to what I said, or ingredients to what you said? Probably what
They're
you
agreeing
said.
with me.
I don't know.
They're agreeing with me.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I mean, it's your birthday,
Thank
so I ain't
you.
gonna argue too hard.
Thank you.
I ain't gonna argue too hard. Yeah, but I still think that I just have a feeling. I'm gonna leave it alone. I can't run from the logic, because I can definitely see that you can be single and definitely have good. Yeah, have that. But I still think that some people who ain't even built to be in relationships. So you're right. That is a possibility. There is a possibility. All right.
Yeah.
Who was
she was agreeing with me.
Doctor. Okay. Oh, doctor. Okay.
And so the no, I think, was when you was talking about the LOL.
Oh yeah. No, I was picking. I was picking at the moment. So what you say?
I said accept defeat. I was right.
The defeat. I don't know. Well, I don't see it as defeat. I see it as, and I was enlightened. I was like, okay, that is an aspect. You can be single, but you do have outside community. You may belong to some organizations. You have some good friendships. And then you did admit, you say, okay, maybe at home when everything is settled, they may be lonely, but then they may have a cat or a dog or a fish or a iguana. Something, you know what I mean? So that can actually be the case. So I would say the percentages are probably smaller, but it is definitely feasible. So I will digress and bow out to the birthday lady on that. So what about self-expression? So I think that gets in the sense of fitting in. I think that not being able to express yourself fully and honestly is far more detrimental than people would let on to be. Is that a right statement or not, Doc?
Yeah, I agree, because you don't want to be in community or in relationship with someone feeling like you have to hold back, feeling like you can't hold them accountable, feeling like you can't be vulnerable, feeling like you can't express your emotions, because then are we really in community? Are we really in relationship? Like, if I can't say, hey, I think you messed up here without fear, are we really doing this together? If I can't say to you, hey, I'm like super sad that this happened and I want to cry, and you like, ooh, hold the tears. Are we really doing this? So yeah, you need to be able to express yourself with the person who you are in community or the group, because I know we tend to like lean toward relationships, but this is the same thing for like social clubs or whatever, like little social groups you find yourself in. So it doesn't necessarily have to be a romantic relationship, but anytime you are in relationship with people, you need to be able to express yourself and express yourself freely. Now listen, I'm not saying get all aggressive and like cuss people out and talking about that's just how I am, because anybody got to deal with that. But being able to express yourself is important.
Indeed. And and we have to, I know the hairs will get split on this, because there's probably a segment of individuals that was like, nah, because everything don't need to be said. So I don't want to get it confused. There is a time and a place for certain things, but if you feel like you can't, I think the difference, if you feel like you can't express yourself, but if you can, you may need to write it instead of say it. You need to you need to wait for the right form, the right time, and then make sure you're talking to the right individuals so that you can express it. But being in an area where you know that it'll be received, I think, and taken in consideration the way that you say it. Because, if you can't just talk crazy to people. So let's not get that confused with feeling like I'm suppressed. No, you suppressed because people are not accepting you cussing them out or ridiculing them in front of people in public forums. So let's don't get it confused and make sure we understand that. or you have to mask any aspect of your identity. And I mean, some identities are positive and some are negative. That's just what it is,
Right.
or is it bearing good fruit or not? So let's keep that in mind, to be like, well, I'm suppressed. No, you go off and you cause what, and you want to throw things when you communicate. So don't
Yeah,
get that
let's
mixed
learn
up.
some communication skills and
Right.
then express yourself.
Like you can't communicate. No, I can't listen to bullcorn. You know what I mean? Because I have a real, like, it's difficult for when people are blowing smoke up, at you. That's how I just
Right.
keep it clean. Just blowing smoke, or they're being less than genuine, or they're trying to be manipulative in the moment. I literally can't play it off. It would be best for me just to turn and walk away. Now I can't do it. I can't even have a conversation. I can't play, don't play with me. It's like it's insulting to a certain degree when you talk about communicating. And I think it's a not an art. I don't want to make it sound like it's difficult, but it's definitely obtainable. But it takes a certain level of discipline. And I really think it's something that people should study, like you would study anything else. Like, learn to communicate,
Yeah.
learn how the people that you're around communicate, learn about the group that you're trying to belong to.
Because
How do they communicate?
maybe you don't like them for real. Maybe you just think that you like them because you like, oh, I want a group of people to hang out with and they're hanging out, and so I'm gonna hang out with them. But maybe you don't like them. Maybe that's not where you're supposed to be. Who knows?
I mean, I hate that. I think it just kind of froze up a little bit, but nevertheless, no, that's a good point, Doc. That's a real good point. I think self-discovery in all the conversations we have, I think and I like to repeat it because I want people to think about it, to take it seriously, is, being self-aware. Every day be open to learning about yourself. How have you evolved? Because the experiences you go through, the things that you take in, you know what I mean? At the Doc, you said it on one of the videos we saw, because Doc has another podcast. Say more about that. It's on all streaming platforms. You can go check that out. When can they check that out, Doc? Anytime.
Anytime they want. It's on Spotify, Apple, Podbean, iHeartRadio, everywhere you listen to podcasts. I am there.
Boom. And you made a mention of about what you take in, and it's more than the food. It's about everything that you listen to, everything that you watch, the people that you have around you that's pouring into you. So you want to be mindful of those groups. And I think usually when you have to force yourself to fit in, you're probably not receiving the things that would be edifying you as a person,
Right.
as an individual. Man, that was good. I'm gonna have to make sure I go back and write that down. So you got to look at, if you're finding yourself having to fit in, you're probably in the wrong place. You're probably in the wrong place. And then Doc just said there could be some discovery, because you're trying to belong. Because that's the thing. It may not be you trying to fit in. You find yourself fitting in because you may have went in with a sense of, I want to be belonging to this group, and come to find out, oh, this is just a bunch of fitting in, because I don't believe, I can't speak up, and my opinion, my perspective is not even taken seriously, and maybe you even feel attacked in a lot of the situations. So that way you can be like, go and let me exit stage left. Elvis has left the building. Holla. You know what I mean?
I totally agree with that. I think because we're designed to be in community, because we're designed to be social, I think it's easy to fall into that trap of trying to fit in, because it's like we are craving that social interaction. But I think it's also important that we pay attention to the few that may be in our life that give us good fruit, as you always say. Like, it doesn't have to be 45 people showing up for you. You might just have one, you might just have two, but they showed up. And so give them the best of you. Like, make sure that you are doing what you have to do to stay in community with them, because you could lose out on that trying to chase something else just because we desire to be so social.
I like that, Doc. That what that brought up on my mind to say is your circle does not have to be large.
Mm-hmm.
It could be a party of two, you and one other person, and if that's who you the belonging, like true belonging as we've kind of defined it, and the aspects of belonging are evident, then that's good enough. That's good enough. And I think you'll find, people, your energy will attract the right individuals around you. um Plays by CJ says, I got a question for y'all. Why do I feel like some people are scared to be by themselves or alone?
So I don't know, like why you feel like that. Like what happened? Give me some more.
No,
But
he says why
he
do
said, "Why
why
do
do
I
I
feel like?"
no, he said, why do I feel like some people are scared to be by themselves or alone?
Right, which means he interacted with somebody who he felt like was scared, right?
Okay,
So
okay,
I don't
either
know
way.
why. Like what happened? Tell me more. But to answer to like go where I think you're trying to go, why are people afraid to be alone? I don't know. It could be several things. So it could be like trauma, right? Like you had this trauma in your life and now you don't want to be by yourself. It could be because you grew up in a situation where it was put into you, get married, don't be by yourself, keep a man, keep a woman, be with somebody. It could be that, or it could just be a person doesn't know who they are until they're with someone. So it's
Wow.
like I gotta be with somebody so I know how to act, so I know how to behave, so I know what to do. So it could be several reasons why people don't like to be alone. And then sometimes I just think that people are afraid to be alone with their own thoughts because they have things that they haven't resolved.
Wow. Be alone with your own thoughts. I'm like, can you get away from your own thoughts? I didn't know you could get away from your own thoughts.
Yeah.
Oh,
If
okay. That's
if
interesting.
I'm in okay, so let's say I got something going on in my mind, and then you call me, and I'm like, "Oh, let's go hang out. Let's do this. Let's do that." I don't have to think
Ah,
about it no
okay.
more because I'm with you. I'm
Oh,
talking
okay.
to you. I'm figuring out what you
Oh,
got going on. See what I'm talking
yeah. I thought yeah, I was thinking more like they're coming with you. I'm just saying.
But being
That's
with other people can
I
distract you.
got you. Distraction. That's the key word right there. It's just something to distract you and not have to face it. I'll say this, and Doc, you can correct me, redirect me if necessary. Um, I did a deep dive on and if I'm not saying it right, it's the opposite. Like the narcissists tend to attract these codependents.
Mm-hmm.
Some people are just codependent. They don't feel whole or complete unless they're with somebody, and it doesn't even have to be a good somebody. It could be somebody who it gives them. And I think you mentioned that they don't feel like they have purpose, reason, or rhyme unless they're in a relationship, pouring into someone. I think those individuals haven't been in an environment or haven't been taught that they can pour into themselves or even how to give to themselves. Um, I don't want to. I was called a narcissist once in a
Mm-hmm.
relationship, and it bothered me. And I was like, I didn't know exactly what a narcissist was. I knew who Narcissus was, the guy that was vain, and he died looking. He was so beautiful, and he thought he was so beautiful. He died at the edge of the lake, looking at himself. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and anyway, yeah, look, it's a Greek, it's Greek
I know what you're talking about
mythology
in
type stuff.
mythology. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So anyway, but the antithesis of a narcissist is individuals who suffer from codependency, and those and narcissists tend to, because it's
Be together.
someone who's a great taker and here's someone who's a great giver, and of
Mm-hmm.
course it just, for whatever reason, I didn't go into the deep spiritual aspects of why that is, but when I was called a narcissist, I kind of knew what it was from that story I told you. I was like, what? And I was like, am I a narcissist? Because self-evaluation is what you should do first.
Mm-hmm.
Any type of criticism, whether it was, you know, aiming to hurt or someone projecting is what I'm going to say. And then as I did my study, they said that if you are concerned, once I found out what a narcissist was, I was like, "Ooh, I do not want to be that. I hope I'm not that." And then my research was like, if you are concerned or even bothered about being a narcissist or
Probably not one.
thinking that you may be one, that is a strong sign that you may be Yeah, that's a really strong sign that you're not one. And so, but in that, then the codependent, I said, okay, well, am I codependent? So let me research that too. That was kind of, I would say, it was inconclusive to my research, my own personal research and reading of it. So after my last relationship, I stayed single, like on purpose. Like I was like, nah, no dating. Um, and I had thought about it because it made, these things make you reflect quite a bit. And so I said,
Mhm.
okay, I've been in these very long monogamous relationships, and it wasn't much time in between each one of them. So
Mhm.
that's why mine was inconclusive. I was like, okay, I was single, but I didn't have this strong desire to be with anyone. But I always ended up with someone, fairly quickly. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean, look at me, what I'm talking about. So that wasn't hard, what I'm talking. Okay, I'm gonna quit playing. Anyway, listen, they like me. I can't help it. I don't know what it is.
I
I
always think
kind of
about
did.
I could be married tomorrow.
Hey, well, you know what? That was then. I can't say that today, though. I can't say that today.
Mm.
I can't say it today. It might take me. It might take me 2 or 3 days. Now I'd have to make some calls and see about some stuff. See about some things first. I'm just being honest. I don't know what other way to be. Anyway, Facebook user says it's funny because I feel like social media has provided an outlet for people to seek that attention, to fit in. Vanjie. Yeah.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah.
I think that
Yeah. Uh-huh.
people can get on social media to perform for the likes, for the applause for the shares and stuff like that. So I agree.
Yeah, I mean, no, people are really, I mean, and then they don't seek, I think, real um
True connection because they got
true
it with their
connection
phone.
with people, because they can get false doses of it anytime they feel like it. I
Right.
mean, think about it. I mean, on the men's side, they'll go out and do something ignorant. Like I watch guys and they do, it's a prank, man. I'm like, and they doing really offensive things that would make somebody punch them in the mouth, slap them in the face, bothering strangers for the attention. Now, some would say, man, I make this much amount of money, but still, though, I'm like, that's kind of crazy. And then on the flip side, when I think about my, the ladies of the world, take a little bit off, show a little bit more, turn around, do the next trend, and see if they can go viral. It's really crazy and sad, and I think people lose sight of the real value of true, authentic, as we use that word, authentic, inclusive type of relationships.
In person
Um, and
relationship.
yeah, yeah, and as Vanjie said, um, like social media, it provides that, but it also influences it as well, because everybody's copying things that may not even be truly intrinsic of how they would express themselves or do anything. So I think it impacts the self-expression, um so that they're trying to belong, but really they just end up fitting in, and that ain't even the group or the space or the practices in which they truly would even operate under normal circumstances. That's a good call out, Vanjie. Good call out.
I also feel like fitting in takes away your opportunity to really be in a place of belonging, because belonging is you showing up as authentically you. Fitting in is obviously, we talked about that, you trying to fit in. So if I see you with this group and I'm like, oh, I don't really like what they got going on, you could actually belong in relationship with me, but because you are over there with them and I don't want to fit in, now you've missed your opportunity to belong.
Mm.
So I feel like when we talk about what's the disadvantage or the detriment to fitting in, I feel like fitting in just gives you the opportunity to miss your chance of belonging. It's just kind of like so from a relationship place, you playing with this dude or this girl who doesn't really meet your requirements. They got like all these red flags, but you don't really, you playing, right? But you gonna miss your person because you're over here playing. So it's the same thing.
You gonna miss your person because you over there playing.
Don't want to be alone, like CJ said.
Don't miss your.
Trying to play.
If y'all see those glitches, I apologize for the glitches right now in advance. If y'all are seeing those, we're having that on with us. Not sure, not anything I can fix, so we do apologize for that. And I'll look into it after this to try to make sure we can improve on that. But don't make any promises. I'm not a guru, but we appreciate y'all patience with us on that. I got just a couple of more points, but I think you kind of touched on this when it comes to, belonging versus just fitting in. And then I think this may be a telltale sign, because I think you can be tricked to think you belong and you're really just fitting in. I believe belonging tends to be more long-term, sustainable, because it's based on like true connection, real, like genuine connections and acceptance. Whereas fitting in can be more transient, kind of loose, surface level, superficial, if you would, depending on outside, like surface level, external factors, like just being popular or current. Like, okay, you might have some money and you get everybody everything, you know what I mean? Or you might be really pretty and everybody want to pick up the crumbs that, of all of the stuff that's coming off your table. Or you may be like I said, be popular, and to be with you makes you seem more popular. They got movie shows about this, Money Can't Buy You Love, and with what's his name? They got all the kids and was married to
Nick Cannon.
There you go, Nick Cannon. I was gonna say that real hot yellow lady.
Mariah, honey, the Mariah Carey.
I mean, she mixed anyway, so she ain't highly yellow.
Mariah Carey says she black.
Maybe that's a discussion. I don't know. We kind of had that discussion.
Mariah Carey has said she's black on several occasions.
That conversation came up yesterday on Is It Wednesday yet a little bit about
why y'all hating on her. What y'all said?
No, not about her specifically. Oh. It was about something else. I'll talk to you about it after the show. It was kind of interesting, but anyway. No hate, no hate or shade on Mariah Carey. Carey. I don't think about Mariah. I've never really been a big fan or anything of that nature, and I thought people was hooplying too much. She ain't as fine as everybody was saying to me. That's just Butler. Okay. Hey, my perspective. That's my point of view. That's my. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I'm not gonna yuck your yum, but the Mariah Carey is beautiful, and she used to sing real good.
Can she not sing anymore?
Legend. Last time I heard her, I was like, ooh, just auto-tune. But that's my girl. I love Mariah Carey, and listen, there will be no Mariah slander.
Dot. Ooh.
But we will remember her.
I'm sorry, that's funny to me.
That's where we're
hold up, man. I guess them twins did something to her. I don't know what happened.
She just be
that's
playing.
Funny to me. She said,
that's my girl. And she living her own like delusional, like rich multi-millionaire type of world. Like, I love her.
I guess so. I
love her. I want to be delusional.
Wait, like stop. Like, hold on, wait, back up. Wait a minute. Start over. I'm gonna definitely use that one. I'm saying, That tickled me. Okay, so we talked about the longevity of it. I think that's a great indicator of whether you're belonging or just fitting in. And this is my last point, Doc, unless you got something more on the topic. We may touch into it. I think the most important thing is this as it pertains to relationships. We'll wrap up. So I'll be quick about this. The emotional impact of belonging, like you really have to, I think this is important that you know yourself first. Be
Okay.
very self-aware, because belonging will promote feelings of security, support. Um, you will feel. I think it makes you better in ways. I think you'll feel more fulfilled, um, and there'll be an overall element of well-being when you're in an environment where you belong to it. And I'm saying this because of my experiences of being on teams. And I've been on teams where it was very transactional. Guys wasn't really that close or that cool. And then I've been on teams where guys really well, the teammates, we really even into the coaches, function like a brotherhood. Like, if you don't look good, I don't look good. If you don't play well, then I didn't play well. Quick side story. My roommate, now I'm a brother of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated. I'm a
Okay,
brother
then.
of the diamond, because diamonds are, formed under heat and pressure. You know what I'm saying? And they're ladies' best friends. So,
Saw that shimmy. What's
you know what
up?
I'm saying? Don't, hey, I got it still. So, with that being said, but my roommate was a Q, okay, and but man, that became like my brother, and that kind of spread out throughout the team. It was that way. I remember it was a guy. Now, this is gonna sound real. It's a guy, his girl, who is now his wife, and they got, I think, they got 4 boys and a girl, beautiful family. They doing big things up in the OKC area.
This
Um,
the cute dog.
yeah, he a Q.
Okay.
Yeah, this is a man of God. I mean, it's awesome. He awesome dude. Anyway, Howard, shout out to Howard. And but it was this guy that I guess dated his girl
Okay.
in the past, or was disrespectful to his girl in some way. I didn't need all of the details. And we played against this guy. And me and him, throughout the whole game, gave this cat the business. It was something like out of a book. I mean, just straight up, like, broke his spirit. I never seen it happen to because he was like the leading player in the league at the time. He had a lot of hype behind him. And so my roommate was like, "No, I'm getting him." I was like, "Well, who we getting?" And it was on all night. I know he felt like, "What's going on?" Man, we was making audible calls to where we going to get him. It was wonderful. It was fun. I mean, I hit him in the mouth one time, and he just was like, "All right," he wave off. He wasn't ready for it. You know what I'm saying? He couldn't. So I've seen that happen. So the emotional impact of really belonging to a group can elevate you in ways that I think it's ideal for your overall well-being, to make sure that you're in environments of belonging versus just fitting in.
Yeah, because
Fitting
somebody
in to
needed
me is almost like a slow death almost.
he needed to belong to somebody so they could get y'all up off of him.
Because they did not come to
What I'm
his
hearing,
rescue. They did not come to his rescue. I mean, they didn't. I saw it in the action. Like, nobody was mad because, of course, I wasn't doing right. I mean, I'm all in the dirt, getting up off his face and, trying to, disrespecting. Nobody did nothing.
getting
Yeah,
up
I'll
off
never
his
forget
face
that.
is crazy.
Yeah, so that's where I get that, like, the emotional impact. And I think it made me a better player. I had a really good game that game because I was after that boy. You know what I'm saying? Not even, he ain't ever done nothing to me, but he did something to my partner, and that's all it took. So
And y'all belong.
that
Y'all
definitely,
had to
and we
belong.
belonged. Yes, it was us against
We
the world
belong
type of thing.
together.
So Doc, I guess Doc agree with that one. I always say I need to get a bell or dong whenever she just agree with me, like boom, because I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Now, Doc, how would you put that as far as the dynamics, um, belonging versus fitting in, as far as a relationship dynamic? Okay, I'm sorry, I'm forgetting about my peoples. Facebook user said emotional intelligence and awareness is important. Indeed,
Agree.
indeed,
And I be thinking
indeed.
people think they're emotionally intelligent and they're not.
Oh,
Emotionally intelligent means not only are you aware of your emotions, you're aware of others in relationship with you. And I think people forget that part.
repeat that one more time.
You
Somebody
also have
write
to
that
be
in
able
the
to
chat.
navigate your emotions too. So that wasn't the full definition. I'm just saying you can't be emotionally intelligent and not be aware of the emotions of the people in relationship with you.
No, I think that's a great. That's a great, concise
I try to be
definition
concise
of it.
with my definitions.
It got no. It's better. Simplified is
Yeah,
better. It's always better. I love that
skill.
quickest way to A to B. You know what I mean? Some people like complicated. I don't know. No. Can we streamline that, please? Efficiency is my favorite word. We can make this more efficient. We really can. But as far as relationships, belonging, like in your relationships, I mean, right off top, I don't even think you're in a relationship if you got to fit in to
No,
be in a
people are fitting
relationship.
into their relationships all the time. I'm a therapist. I see it. Yeah.
That's why I saved it for last, Doc. Come on with it.
Yes,
Teach
people
us.
are fitting into their relationships all the time and then wondering why they upset and being like, "Oh, I just don't even like the way she chew her food." What? But it's because they've been fitting in for so long. Now they can't take it and they are bursting at the seams. And they like, when he breathe, I can't breathe because he's breathing. Like, I asked my one client, I said, "Hey, do you like your boyfriend?" Sis had to think
When he
about it.
breathe, I can't breathe because he breathing.
So people are fitting into their relationships and it is not working and it is causing
Doc, please
resentment.
tell me. Hey, Doc, please tell me. Nobody really said that. That was you kind of ad-libbing,
Oh,
right?
okay. Would that make you feel better if I said that? So that was a true story.
Oh, I used to like wine, but they like wine, so I can't drink
So
wine
I
now.
ain't drinking
Wait,
no more. Yeah, like great, like
wow.
yeah, it'd be wild.
Oh my God. Yeah, so she said people
But
are
it
fitting in their relationships. And they think it's as simple as I picked the wrong person. It's like, nah, man, you probably shuffled and shucked and jive. You thought you had A, you ended up with C. And
everybody is
now
shucking and jiving at the beginning. That's why I be telling people, just show up
no.
as you. Just be
If you
you.
don't if you don't put your honest foot forward, you are going to lose. You're
Yeah,
gonna
we know
lose,
that,
man.
but we have wisdom and perspective. Everybody doesn't have that.
I know. I need to share this show so we can help these people.
Speaking
You
of,
understand?
hey, everybody that's on here, do me a favor. It is my birthday. Please hit the like button. Wherever you are watching from, y'all, I could have been anywhere. Listen, because it's my birthday. Y'all almost got a replay. So go on, hit your girl with a like. Wherever you are watching it, please give me a like. Like. Comment if you have not already commented. Share. Tell a friend to tell a friend and be like, hey, I need to watch this replay because sis really pulled through on her birthday and I learned about
Yeah.
fitting in and belonging. So like. Thank you so much.
Absolutely, man. Shout out to Ben. Shout out to Jeff, Chef Jeff. Shout out to Vanjie, CJ. Man, thank y'all for coming through.
Thank y'all for
Definitely
holding down.
appreciate you. Yeah, y'all. Insight. If you got questions, you got anything else, any ideas, please feel free to share those with us. As you can see, Doc has her Instagram and her contact at the bottom of her name. So do I. So if you don't want to put it out in the front on the comments, definitely hit us, send us a message on Facebook. You can hit me on Messenger, on Instagram. If you hit up Doc, she'll get a hold of that. And we really appreciate it. These video ideas, we get those from others that are in the perspective community. And so we really appreciate you for being here. Hey, go check out the BS3 network. So if you go and subscribe, then you can get notifications of when the shows come up, and then you'll know which ones that your favorite. But I promise you'll enjoy them. You'll have a good time. It's a very wide variety of content, information, but most importantly, subscribe to Perspective. Go to our Facebook page and join the group so you can get the notifications of when the show come on. We'll let you know when our YouTube page is up, so you can go ahead and subscribe to that and get that notification. And with that being said, we appreciate you. Doc, we really hit the time kind of on the head. Do you have any final comments?
Thank y'all so much for being here, because we know that you could have been anywhere else. Please like, comment, subscribe. If you hit us up on Facebook, you are going to get Eric. I struggle. But if you hit us up on Instagram, that will be me. So direct your questions accordingly. And we will do this again next week, right?
Yeah, we own it. We own it. So I want my final. I just because I like this topic, and so I really want people to walk away. Anyone who views this, while belonging and fitting in involve social interaction, right? Or I would say integration. Belonging emphasizes acceptance and inclusion based on the authentic and mutual respect, authenticity, respect. Whereas fitting in, it's just conforming, following statuses, following trends that are not even intrinsically yours. And when you compromise, you're going to lose your individual identity, which is the beauty and the gift that you've been given from a divine level. Okay. And so definitely never sacrifice that or give that away. And with that being said, we thank you again for being with us here on Thursday. We'll see you next Thursday here on Perspective. Hey, stay wonderful, stay smart, stay intelligent, and stay beautiful. And we'll see y'all next week.